Welcome back, everyone, to the North American LCS. My name is David Freak Chili here, clocking in at the caster desk with my favorite, Sam Kobe Hartman-Kensler. How you doing?
Clocking in. What time is it? Quick.
Quick time. It is 3:21 p.m.
Right on time. Let's go.
Got it. Let's do this. We're jumping into our second match of the day. It's Immortals versus FlyQuest. And for a team that many ranked as last or close to last place, FlyQuest certainly winning way more than people thought with some quite solid match wins.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite teams to watch just because everyone was laughing at the beginning because it's all these old players returning, but they have been smashing and they've been doing it their own way. Hai and Moon specifically have been a tremendous roaming force. Those two together have accounted for a ton of the kills for the team. This team also has a very unique pick and ban phase. They do give up a lot of these OP quote-unquote champions. Lemonation is a huge fan of doing that. In order to trade back certain OP champions with prepared counter picks like Hai's Zed. They've also used Misfortune as the flex for AD carry, the first North American team to do that, you know, and really embrace the new lethality items and the new champion builds that does open up for them. Now, Hai and Moon, they also actually have the highest champion diversity for both mid lane and jungle, and the team as a whole has the highest champion diversity for any team in the North American LCS.
Yeah, and it makes me really happy to see this team. I love teams who innovate, and once again, you see Moon with his
teams
orange.
that juggle.
Yeah, well, the one-hand juggling not quite as difficult for Moon, so I think you got to step it up for us.
One object juggling doesn't count as juggling.
Yeah,
That's just catching.
Well, he's good at catching. Not only does Moon have a good ability to catch, he's got a deep champion pool, and also these picks are looking good for him as well. And it's actually kind of crazy to think because he's up against Dardoch, who replaced Moon on Liquid for bad performance at the beginning of last split.
It's actually super interesting that so many of these, you know, NA talent junglers that everyone's talking about have a lot of history together, and they actually are very close. You know, they're tweeting out on social media and stuff, making fun of each other, but Moon and Dardoch have a long history, Acadian as well with both those guys. And it's really nice to see all of them find, you know, success in different ways, basically. But right now, it seems that Moon is way more at home on his team, right? This specific team. They have his back. He's got this strong shot caller to give him confidence, and he's really flourishing. Whereas Dardoch is seeming to stumble a bit here on Immortals with, you know, the team not really coming together. And it feels like, you know, Moon now is the one with the dream position on his team, whereas Dardoch is doing well, you know, individually, but having a hard time, you know, getting the entire team to work together.
I agree. I think you mentioned that Moon feels more at home, and it just made sense to me because FlyQuest, they went on like a mission to reach the Moon, and they caught him, and now he's looking great. And Kobe has the same reactions as everyone else online. Yeah, well, but it's been interesting. We talk about the jungle player story, but there's one in the support role as well. Ole actually shared with us why his matchup against Lemonation today has some significance to him.
Yeah, actually I met him 3 years ago in IM as a Brazilian team playing gaming. And I checked his champion pool. He was absolutely same as me. Like that time I play Janna and Morgana. I feel like it's kind of mirror matchup to me. So kind of I'm playing against myself. So I want to win against me.
Yeah, it's actually cool because a lot of the old previous Cloud9 members like Lemon and stuff have international appearances where a lot of people paid attention to them, you know, and they got a lot of international fans as well. So nice to see that interaction.
Yeah, always fun to look at. So now let's take a look at the starting lineups for this match. On the blue side, starting out, it will be Immortals. Flame in the top lane, a man of much international notoriety. Dardoch in the jungle, Pobolter in mid, Cody's son in the bot lane. Ole, just heard from him on support with their coach Hermes as well to lead through picks and bans.
And on the red side, it is FlyQuest. Up top is Balls. In the jungle, Moon, mid, Hai. AD carry Altec, support Lemonation, and coach ThinkHard on stage with them.
Absolutely. ThinkHard, formerly a jungler as well, played under CLG for a bit, so jungler on the cast as well. So many incredibly talented junglers, 3 of them that I know of, and then Kobe's here as well to round out the lineup. Thumb up is there. You didn't like my terribly delivered pun, so I had to shoot back at you, of course. I really am excited about this matchup, though. I feel a little bit bad for Immortals getting a slower start than I think they would like, but the fact that FlyQuest are innovating a lot and doing so well makes them a really fun team to watch out for.
And, you know, they kind of touched on it in the video. Ale versus Lemonation is super interesting. Ale is one of the only supports with, like, one of the really different champion pools. His most played is Morgana, which I don't believe any other support right now is funneling that much effort into the champion, but getting a lot of picks on it. Yet Lemonation is actually one of the guys, you know, previously known for a lot of Morgana play and, and relying on those bindings, which they actually have already used already.
Exactly, that's what Ole was saying in the video. Is like, I'm playing against myself. We play the same things. I want to beat myself in the matchup. And
Twins, right there on your screen.
Twins, I mean, they look so much like the same person. You ask one of them, you want ice cream cone? Both of them say yes. I mean, how does that even work? Shout out to everyone who got the reference. It's an old video. I'm old. Varus, last one off the table.
Yeah, let's catch up here. The expected red side bans are coming through from FlyQuest this time around, so they are not doing the you know, trade for the LeBlanc, the Rengar, the Camille. Well, at least we expect LeBlanc to round it out here. They might pull something different. They did already use the Kassadin as, you know, the soft LeBlanc counter, but
who knows?
We'll see here, as the targeting from Immortals has been towards that super strong bottom lane of Zyra and Varus, getting that off the table. To me, Jhin is super high up there. So this actually might be a LeBlanc for Jhin trade if I'm FlyQuest looking at it. And Immortals, they're jumping on this, but I always second guess myself if you're drafting against Lemonation or something like that, and he does leave that very obvious one open. With the rise in power of lethality, if Varus is off the table, Jhin is the best marksman user for that down there in the bottom lane, and it really changes the power curve of your entire game. Being able to jump right in to any early game skirmishes, level 6 with even a serrated Dirk, Jhin adds so much power, whereas Ashe is going to be sitting on pieces of Infinity Edge, and yeah, she does have the arrow, but does not feel the same. And there it is.
Yeah, and I think both these teams have been making a lot of plays in the early game. Dardox has been such an omnipresent jungler. He's killing everything, and FlyQuest just have such great shot calling. The last time we looked at the stat, they had the fastest average Baron of all teams in NALCS. Like, these guys shot call circles around almost any team.
That has been such a big strength for them, is the decisiveness when they do get an early lead, or even an area on the map that has an early lead. If the gold overall isn't even you know, in their favor, they will pressure the one area that they do have that advantage, and then really try and snowball that. Shen is so great in doing that. They've used it over and over. Target the bottom side. You know, in pick bans, they've already weakened the bottom side here by grabbing up the Jhin, you know, the lethality that we talked about. And the only thing they did have to sacrifice for this was the LeBlanc. Now, Hai has already shown 2 counter picks. Not only the Kassadin that we mentioned,
Zed too, right?
but Zed as well. Exactly. So we'll see which one he decides to go with this time around. Generally, you know, the Zed, much more about that split pushing. He really does like to get the early kills on the enemy carries as well. And we get a little bit more actually FlyQuest flavor here. He's, you know one of Moon's favorites.
I think this is now his 3rd Evelyn game, unless I'm missing a couple more. But yeah, Moon's always been happy to play his own champions. I want to come back to what you said earlier. They only gave up LeBlanc first pick. I mean, so few teams allow this to happen, but that's the context you have to give FlyQuest. They clearly were okay with this kind of matchup. They said, we would rather play Pobalter's LeBlanc than Dardox Kha'Zix. This is worth it for us. Dardox's such a high-profile player, and he's playing so well for the team. We'd rather give you a champion that no one gives any other mid laner and say, go for it, Pobalter. What can you do?
If we didn't know these members, right? If these FlyQuest members didn't have such a long history and we weren't so well acquainted with them, we'd be looking at this draft and going, oh, they gave up LeBlanc, Maokai, Ashe. That seems like a
this is a communication issue.
Quite a good, you know, standard setup here for Immortals. Like, Immortals, looking like they are feeling pretty confident. Pobelter is going to be the one piloting that LeBlanc. He's the guy who really has wanted to step up this season. He knows that he's been struggling for the early parts, and he's felt bad about it. You know, he had mouse issues he was talking about. He feels like he's in a slump, and he's definitely chomping at the bit. He really wants to make a comeback here. And he talked about also, you know, this is the regular season. They're looking towards playoffs. Playoffs is what matters. One of the lessons that Immortals as a team learned very
the hard
clearly.
way. Well, they still have to make playoffs in 2 and 3, puts them just on the outside of that, I do believe, based on standings, but it'll be a close fight, I really believe. There's a lot of teams that are sitting close to 2 wins right here, where position 5 and 6 really up for grabs. We'll see which one can get it. Of course, Karma been grabbed up, and now the jungle pickup, pretty easy one to go for Graves. I think a very strong champion and does fit the Dardoch style. Thresh to round out the lineup.
I'm super excited because Dardoch was the guy who taught me how to do a lot of the animation cancelings for Graves. You know, the one where you can cancel the Rico on your R. Also the extra autos coming out with your E. But it's just another build that's really bolstered by the lethality changes, right? You have the option on Graves to go with the lethality. Most people have been taking that option. Yes, you can still go with the old, slightly more bulky builds of the Cleaver and fitting in the magic resistance from Hexfinger if you really didn't want to go lethality, but pretty much everybody going with the Edge of Night style Ghost Blades and full lethality builds, so you can get those 2 shots. And the added benefits of it really scaling well with Thunderlords as well is just a huge amount of burst. So
absolutely.
Let's
super volatile.
Yeah, exactly. Let's take stock of like the overall team comps here, because we talked about Immortals. They're looking like very solid here. They have Flame on the Maokai. The mirror tank at the current moment is going into Shen, who offers quite clearly the added pressure on bottom lane, which is really going to be the focus for this game. Can FlyQuest blow open this bottom lane with their Jhin advantage and their Shen advantage and an invisible jungler?
Yeah, I feel like this is a pretty easy to gank bot lane if you're FlyQuest. Jhin provides crowd control, Elimination provides haste and crowd control and decent damage in his own right. The 4-man dog pile down there should feel pretty good.
So Immortals should definitely be expecting this as well. You want to send those guys into the game with that game plan, expecting a lot of bottom lane pressure, and we'll see how they do react. Graves is typically this farming jungler everyone knows him as, but he's also very good at counter ganking.
Yeah.
If Evelynn overcommits, W's into the lane, tries to get up there, Graves will blow you up, even before building lethality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a couple of long swords will do the trick.
The base damage is good, and as far as counter picks are concerned, the standard Corki actually coming through for high, so it looks like with Kassadin off the table, they said, you know what, we'd rather just fit the team comp, and it's not like it's a hard counter pick against LeBlanc by any means.
Yeah, one of the things I was talking to Cop actually, funny enough, playing a decent amount of mid lane when he was filling in just random solo queue and stuff, and Corki with exhaust very clearly has the counters for the all-ins from LeBlanc, and you just kind of push out lane, grind it out. Corki, very popular right now, lending extra poke as well, and a source of magic damage to go along with the lethality threat of Jhin.
All right, so we are onto the Rift, of course. Game 1, Immortals versus FlyQuest. Get ready for this one. FlyQuest, again, against expectations, 4-1 in the standings. They win this one, and they match what TSM did earlier today, which was win a match. So this is FlyQuest hoping to hold on to second. And many say it's been an easy schedule for the team. They've yet to play any other teams with winning records at this time, but
have not played Cloud9, the undisputed top team, plus either
no TSM,
of the other number 2 teams.
Yep.
Regardless, though, let's take a look at this roll of the dice. The Drake is going to be Infernal Drake Freak. Extra emphasis added onto the bottom side of the map.
Sure.
I actually think that does benefit FlyQuest as far as the Drake roll for the beginning here does go.
Yeah,
but as we said,
members.
Immortals are going to be expecting that focus, right?
Yeah, so how well can they play around it? Of course, Cody, Sun, and Ole, much maligned for generally bad play. I made the point.
Ouch. I mean, it's true.
And I'd made the point on Friday that I thought they were playing better than expectation. Now, granted, the expectation was putting them out as a 1 out of 10.
Fairly low from Yongi and
Right, and I think it was lower than that bar, but I think it is still accurate that it's a lane that players can abuse, and we'll see if that ends up being a good style. Both mid laners triggering Thunderlords on one another, and early potions used off as well. Now, Hai's always been a player I've seen very good at playing a lane in an intelligent way, like, oh, I'll shove this exact wave and get an early recall, and I'll have an item lead doing so, and maybe he can use that to lever an advantage over Pobelter.
Also a player that loves to take trades very aggressively in lane, and that's why Corki does really fit his style. The other thing is that having an invisible jungler like Evelynn always makes the enemy mid laner question if there's an Evelynn around. Since Hai always plays like there is one, you just eventually have to roll those dice and call your own jungler to be around if you're going to take one of these. But trading very quickly here. Before the 2.5-minute mark, you could be pretty sure Evelynn's not there. But past 3 minutes, then you might have to check the aggression.
Yeah. Well, early pings coming in right now. Looks like they heavily pinged out that they saw Graves down by his Raptors and or his red buff. That was the warnings coming out from Moon. That's where he should be if Dardoch were playing a standard pattern.
Actually, it's definitely worth noting that Moon went with that short, basically half route on Evelynn to get the early back here for the extra ring, and will clear from top down again. Maybe he makes a move at the Maokai, who Shen can set up with a taunt, or does try and provide some of that threat around mid lane. Even if you show up once, the rest of the entire game. LeBlanc's going to be thinking about going for the all-ins with the chain and W.
Worth seeing how much extra pressure FlyQuest has this bot lane. Altec has missed exactly 1 minion in 3.5 waves, and Cody Sun already injured pretty heavily and missed quite a bit himself.
The other thing I do like about the sort of short route there on Evelynn, you know, trying to make the most of the Raptor experience as well, is that the bottom lane is where we talked about, oh yeah, Immortals are going to be expecting all this focus on bottom lane, and Graves maybe will spend some time there setting up a counter gank or waiting around. You kind of, the longer you wait to show yourself on Evelynn also kind of makes the enemy continually guess where you are and try and set up counter ganks to punish you. But if you're not there, if you're collecting scuttles and whatnot, then you're hoping that they basically waste time.
And right here, Dardoch can say, okay, he put a ward down, and Moon wants to fight him back for it. Early trades coming in, and it is Dardoch pushed away. He's even, hold on, Bobo taking a chunk of damage, but brings High down to 300 HP himself. Neither mid laner has any potions left, and Dardoch will manage to knock down the ward. And that's money down the drain from Moon.
The advantage of Evelynn is that she has the stealth. It's not the 1 versus 1. I can see you, you can see me. Graves definitely can handle his own there. So that's why Dardoch is able to bully him off of the ward. Even with both mid laners kind of matching there. Summoner is blown from Pobelter though. You definitely need to note that for the next conversion. Teleport here used to get back to lane after that trading. So that is going to result in a little bit of increased CS as well.
And of course, he snuck through without getting spotted by wards. In fact, LeBlanc roaming up as well. So a fight in the bot lane against Cody Sun. The flash exhaust coming in back on Altec. Back on Cody Sun they go. Altec 3 shots away from the crit. He's not going to get the hits in. Here comes Moon, and he'll block the volley. First blood comes through in the bot lane. And the top lane action turned into nothing. Ball's not even losing a summoner. Ole going to drop as well. A double kill to Moon. Continues to be the killingest player in the North American LCS.
Oh my goodness, Moon heading down to the bottom side of the map because that's where the Gromp is as well. Soon as they go aggressive, calls
so
it out.
dumb.
I'm coming down the lane.
Pobelter roamed top and Dardoch was top lane as well. You don't go for a flash exhaust like this.
Exactly. This bottom lane is being so aggressive and not respecting the Evelynn at all. Even if he wasn't immediately coming from base, could have been in the area anytime. And I don't even know.
One auto
You're
short,
not even ever
two
going to.
auto short.
If he, yeah, exactly. If he just continues to walk, you don't get that anyway.
Slightly misjudged.
I mean, if Moon's not there, then yeah, you don't get killed. But
yeah. I mean, I understand the idea because he was probably 5 HP off from getting first blood. And if Moon's not there, it's a first blood and out, and that is the right play. But they know Moon's not topside from Dardoch counter jungling, saying Krugs are up, Moon's not here. He's not here, guys. Moon's not topside. By the way, I'm topside as well. Your jungler's nowhere to see. And they go for the all-in anyway.
Coordination has definitely been an issue. The last time they did see Moon was in the river there, but that was so long ago.
They know they forced the recall.
And you know that, as you said, he's not doing Krugs, so definitely overstepping their bounds here in the bottom lane for Immortals. And it actually seemed like a really on-the-fly call because the initial Lantern was a defensive Lantern to get him out, it looked like. But then Ole decided to flash forward and go super aggressive with it. They're going aggressive again, but Shen is level 6.
This time there's a Shen. Can they bring him into range into Ole?
Flash. I mean,
he just walks out. I'm not even going to burn the top for a while, and it should easily go to Altec. And again, taking a trade that gets turned around by FlyQuest.
We may have given Immortals bottom lane too much credit in the intro, saying that they are expecting all of this focus on bottom lane, right?
Maybe so.
Because Shen just hit level 6. And they burned Flash in the previous play. There's no getting out of that all in.
Yeah, you've got to be under your turret at all points at that point.
Coordination issues have been something that have also plagued this team here from Immortals. And you talk about the jungle to bottom lane coordination, also top lane to bottom coordination, and communication doesn't seem to be there. So all is going according to the FlyQuest plan, whereas Immortals, they're really going to have to bide their time now and hope they can scrounge out some CS as they have to wait it out. I think the Infernal Drake is going to be very easy for FlyQuest to set up on the second cooldown of Stand United.
But they're putting in a lot of effort on the mid lane as well. High, of course, intelligently rushing a Hex Drinker to survive the matchup. But, I mean, as far as that's going, he's equal in farm and actually slightly ahead. Doesn't look too bad for High right now. The rest of the team, of course, have done well with making the bot lane work. Credit to Flame, plus 10 CS over balls, so that's something. But otherwise, it is a FlyQuest advantage. 1,500 gold in the lead with those 3 kills. Roughly par for the course based on what those things are worth. And we'll see how High's Corki can use the first package.
Yeah, the package is ready. Jhin is also level 6, so bottom lane could still very well be focused from FlyQuest, even without the Stand United. Altec has lethality. He has his level 6, and Hai is ready to roam. Hai is actually roaming over a ward, so Immortals this time, no really communication necessary.
Yeah.
Bottom lane should be able to see that for themselves, and they do back off.
As long as you have a mini-map, you're going to be okay, and looks like that's enough to make them run away. But hey, that roam just denied a full wave of farm, and it even got them a red buff steal. So it's not even... The fact that it turned into no kills is still okay for them. Hai once again going for the trade, and Poet, they're out of mana, can't fight back.
My question is, with Hai, you know, getting some damage here on and some control of mid lane, Moon's got to expect the red trade attempt from Dardoch.
Yep, and there he is.
And he might try and head over there and, you know, stalk this Graves. He would definitely need some help. Actually, this is good from Immortals. We are seeing some good teamwork. He actually calls Flame over. Flame pushed the wave in. He can give Dardoch an escape route even if Moon does show up. So they are successfully at least going to go even on red buff trade.
We know Poboch has been pretty aggressive in looking for his trades against Hai. Suddenly Graves on the bottom side. It's going to be both here, so he's trying to bait in the fight. Exhaust is on, but that's going to turn into nothing because here comes everyone else, but Altec joins the fray. Not going to land the deadly flourish, but how about curtain call? Dardoch, nice actually, he wasn't revealed anymore going through there and gets to grab the honey fruit.
Yeah.
Push a scuttle crab off of it. That's my snack.
Little bit of good dodges there, and a little bit of luck from Dardoch to be able to get out of there. Because if Jhin lands anything there,
he's gone.
He's probably gone. And Dardoch did have to burn his flash, so not going to be able to rely upon that. Now, Stand United is available, and Infernal Drake is such a high priority. Helps with snowballing so much. They already have this nice lead here for the FlyQuest side, and it's really Immortals that want to try and grind it out and maybe go for more trades, more even, less confrontational mid-game here.
See what more they can get. FlyQuest and Immortals going into this one. Actually, a bad hook by Ole. Flay buys some time. Arrow's going to hit Moon in the face, but look at the root. Look at the damage out, but Ole going to be on the chopping block. One more shot. Waits out the exhaust. Altec won't quite have the kill shot. Waiting for the damage to come down. Turns it over and pops Cody's son. A trade kill coming in thanks to Pobolter's roam. And here comes the TP.
Stand United yet.
Okay, he pops that. Going to keep Altec shielded up. No Corki at all. It's not Hai joining in the slightest. Ball's holding the front line. Shield's going to time out. Rooted up in place. Flame will secure his team the kill, but it buys enough time.
Are they going to get Altec too?
I don't know if they can.
Okay, red buff slow won't be enough, but man, that was huge for Immortals. Hai does not commit to joining this fight. And Balls as well doesn't channel Stand United for a long time. That looked like a team call to not commit to that confrontation down bottom side. So FlyQuest do give up a little bit of gold there, as well as that Jhin mid-game thing. But the upside of the call, you get a lot of damage on the mid turret.
Ooh, wow. Flash used to try to get the play to happen. Can't quite catch on a Moon who flashed away, and enough damage was dealt from the bot lane gank. First turret to Immortals is a significant gold surge, only 400 apart now.
This is such good news for the Immortals side to be able to grab that first turret, open up some more territory on the bottom side. This Infernal Drake suddenly becomes much less of a secure objective for FlyQuest to actually force, especially considering that Balls no longer has global mobility with both Teleport and Stand United being burned from the last confrontation.
Absolutely true. So now if Flame can play the minion waves right, he can get down there and make the play happen and get the first Drake. Hai, of course, recently had to burn Flash. Valkyrie seemed to be on cooldown. Maybe it was mana. I couldn't tell which, but Pobolter actually, to his credit, he was very hard on himself before. I remember he tweeted out earlier this week saying, guys, I'm not going to stream. I'm going to stay off social media. Not until the old POB is back. I'm too disappointed in myself. And well, he gets a first pick worthy champion in LeBlanc. 2 kills, only kills in his team. This feels like if Pobolter wants to prove that he's supposed to be a top talent again, this is the game he must win for his team.
Yeah, and they're clawing their way back in. He actually has a decent amount of gold in his pocket right now. Yeah, most in the game, almost 1,500. See if he can, push up one more wave. Also, we haven't really mentioned it, but he's been using that LeBlanc clone over and over to try and help extra zoom in to try and help out with their rotation.
I think they know.
FlyQuest are not fooled, but he did use it a couple times to try and add some fake support down to the bottom side to, help out with the focus that was being thrown down there. The Infernal Drake is taken up, and man, things turn around so well for Immortals off of that bottom lane commitment, that bottom lane play, where FlyQuest opted not to send all resources.
Definitely got to agree. Big improvement for them. Balls gets most of the minions under the turret. That feels pretty good for him, but yeah, the solo Drake, the bot lane pressure for one that looked so bad earlier on, it's really turning around for Immortals. This Flame looks to pressure top lane a bit.
And suddenly, this becomes, okay, Immortals, we talked about the strength of the standard picks that you go with. Having a Maokai so reliable on the front line becomes difficult to deal with at a point. Not quite there yet, and he doesn't have any flat armor, so Altec right now will even be able to actually do a lot of damage as an AD carry to the Maokai, since he's sitting on a very high spike of lethality at the moment. Ghostblade and the serrated Dirk super early into the game.
Vulture, look at that. Half HP gone from Moon, but gets a similar amount done back. Now, Valkyrie of the wall high really wants to pick up Vulture. A couple more shots will do it. Juke's back. They find the right one. That's the kill picked off. A hard dive pays off for FlyQuest.
Relentless chase here as everyone immediately jumps on it. This is the decisiveness that you always talk about for FlyQuest. High has the package, luckily for them, and is able to get the double Valk off to chase him down, and Altec, or Pobelter, unable to scramble for his life. Extra kill here, picked up for FlyQuest.
Nicely done, and that means a bit more lane pressure. 1,200, their gold lead. Mid lane is so close to going down. You can tell FlyQuest trying to make that the objective. Dardoch, Cody, Sun, Pobelter have been playing wave clear onto it.
Ooh, Dardoch could get a huge burst on him.
Moon could die.
Oh, so squishy!
You auto RE, there we go. Jumping in for that one. Shen standing netted by just enough time. Blastcone gets him out. And red buff will reset, and High gets a split push on a bot lane, gets rid of the rest of that play.
That was that chasing combination that we're talking about, canceling your recoil.
Auto RE.
There from Dardoch.
You must auto attack and then ult into immediate quick draw. And if that is how you play it, you dash forward instead.
Then you get the kill unless Shen is on the other team and lends the shield.
Absolutely, but hey, you're seeing the early lane pressure, even though it doesn't always turn into a kill 8 minutes into the game, it will turn into one later on. Flame has slowly worked down that top lane outer turret and got it now. High capitalizing what his bottom lane had done earlier on in this one.
So much harassment under the turret as well. High taking down the turret as well as Pobelter's health pool at the same moment here, and keeping up the pressure. This has been something we saw a lot last week as well. High constant pressure from this guy, keeping up the split push.
Yeah.
And allowing the rest of his team to really fill in the rest of the map with vision. Some pink wards still coming through on the bottom side for them, as well as Moon counter jungling.
And those wards are super important. That one control ward by the red buff tracks the most common roam or gank path Dardoch or anyone else would take to try to stop High, and it allows FlyQuest to put a generally squishy marksman alone in the bot lane as a split pusher and not be punished for it. Still a close game. I don't want to only sing FlyQuest's praises because we know Immortals have a shot at this one. Again, Flame kind of solo killing the top lane outer turret is a important surge of gold, and they have kept the mid lane turret alive. But remember that
barely standing.
High chose to not roam to help the bot lane fight the Pobelter, got the double kill in, and that turret has still not fallen since. LeBlanc keep this going forward. He is moving towards the Morellonomicon, has Sork Shoes already, and enough MR to not die to High.
Yeah. Important defensive vision work being done here by Immortals as well. They cleared out that ward you're talking about, start to set up that defensive line along the river. And they're going to do their best to prop up this outer turret, but this becomes a very, very scary situation towards the mid lane here, trying to wave clear. Ashe is still building up. Obviously, her build really takes a lot longer to come into power, whereas Altec could just open up with that Jhin ulti and get quite a bit of DPS out of it without even having to commit.
So let's see how much can be done right here. Right now, it's just been the vision game, and of course, both these teams fairly happy to play dedicated split pushers. We know that High's been down a lot. We know that Pobelter he's got teleport. He actually wants to be alone in a side lane for most of this game, so it's going to be Immortals constantly looking at the 1-3-1 and looking for the time where they can make the TP flank or the collapse.
Yep, as of right now, both teleports ready for Immortals. The Stand United and teleport ready for Balls as well, so just waiting for the powder cake to explode. Decent territory with wards to teleport on. Here's the ultimate we talked about from Jhin. Good blocking.
Yep. Good damage into Cody-san. Looks like Moon didn't bother using his ulti for extra damage. It did get close to killing him off. Cody-san did burn heal in order to stay alive, but that is a bot lane carry out of the lane, and maybe they can get the pressure onto the mid turret.
Yeah, I do like Ole sitting there on the control ward in the bottom side. They know this is a dangerous situation to try and clear out these minions in the middle, and it will probably be attacked sooner or later, but he's there for the Lantern. It did cost Cody Sun his heal, but not the biggest of summoner spells.
Yeah. Not really a huge deal. You're right about that one, but it's just been the slow-paced mid-game of FlyQuest looking for what they can pry open, and Immortals, I think, just wanting it to be a bit slow because they have the better split pushers in the sense that Flame, I think, will continue to do well against balls, and Pobelter, again, wants to be in the side lane with his teleport, so Cody Sun and Dardoch back in the mix in the mid lane, and we're just playing the wave clear game back and forth. Next Drake spawns in 5 seconds. Immortals got the first one 6 minutes ago. And this time around, map control looks a bit closer, but this time around, of course, High is getting surrounded.
Yeah, he's got to stand.
Well, get some damage on a Pobelter. Makes him jump away. Now that is Balls missing an ulti. Teleport comes in as well for Flames. Here comes the 5-on-5. High gonna get jumped on, is not gonna get hooked, and Balls zones him out. Dardoch is behind the team. Moon waiting around as well. Ole gets caught out. Boxes in, has to flash. A couple more shots will do it. High gets the first kill. Pobelter slowed down. By Agony's Embrace. Nice ulti out by Moon, and it means map control.
The difficult part about, collapsing on the split pusher is the time it takes to get there. FlyQuest, they're able to round up, circle up at 5. And you talk about the focus of the team, no hesitation. This is still a bit dangerous, but Immortals are split out. And this has been the real story for them.
Unlucky by Dardoch. Exhaust was there, and there's no chance of getting out when that gets popped. Doesn't even burn his heal to run away. And with 2 dead, it looks like it's much easier to take the Drake. Moon still wants in. Pobelter do the chunk on a Moon. Moon gets away just barely, but Flame is invincible. Ball zones away the mage, and now Flame in the front line, just absorbing the point-blank shots from Altec. Still gets hit, and one more shot will do it. The shutdown comes through. Altec is unstoppable. 9-2 in kills. Mid lane finally goes down. High. Shot calling it right. He splits off, gets it for the effort.
I mean, we make the jokes all the time, about shot call. But look at the first thing that FlyQuest do. They're like, we need to group up, everybody get together. Balls immediately stand united on High, and they all run together. They circle up, 5-man. Okay, now we can turn on the nearest person. Ole is a little bit scattered out here. Immortals are on all sides because they were trying to collapse. And if you don't get that exact timing on your pincer, everyone doesn't arrive at the exact moment. This is what happens. They turn on one weak side, and you use your numbers advantage. Easy DPS there because Jin can land the snare, and then Altec is going to land another key snare here. I guess it didn't matter too much because they had damage to kill him, but this is the point. It's all about that focus, and FlyQuest have that in spades, whereas Immortals continuously spread out, attempting these flanks with less coordinated team play.
Absolutely, and that means FlyQuest feeling pretty good about this one. They never quite took down the Ocean Drake. They said it was more important to reset after the turret kills. That is still an available objective, but the gold lead crushes to 3,000, cleanly taking their own blue buff. And again, they reset fast enough that the Ocean wasn't stolen away from under them, so I gotta say that was a pretty secured move where no risks came in. Quick dive in, look at a cut off Pobelter, and he's gotta make some fancy moves out of this one.
The floor is lava, cutting off the river. Pobelter's gonna have to go upwards into FlyQuest territory. LeBlanc, thankfully does have quite a few moves. Oh, and he's gonna use his teleport.
Okay, well, that is at least summon or teleport down for the play. Pobelter.
It also is gonna definitely mean that Drake over to.
Actually, into the mid lane. Nice play this time by Ole. Zones him out, and the mid lane outer turret killed off by Dardoch. So that is Immortals, I would say, getting the better of the overall trade. A nice attempted submarine doesn't come through for FlyQuest.
Yeah, and they're still keeping up the chase here for FlyQuest, though.
Oh, Pobelter gets rooted up, but they all got away with it reasonably well.
I do like Immortals attacking the opposite area of the map during that time, right? As soon as Pobelter started running and he saw that FlyQuest members were committing to this, all the other members of Immortals pushed up heavily. So at least they are able to get that outer turret, and a little bit of headway on top side. But in the end, the Drake will go over. Well, unless Dardoch steals it,
he's gonna try it. He got it. Dardoch nicely done, cleanly getting out as well. Beautifully by Immortals.
Every time I try and give it over.
Oh, going in for more. Flame wants to pick up High. Exhaust is on plays there as well. And Immortals finally turning out of the mid game. Killing an Ocean Drake steal.
All right, Immortals get the flash play out of Flame. Dardoch gets the smite steal. Really good comeback here for them, but they still are down in gold. Gonna see how they are able to stabilize because the turret's missing now. Most of the outers are gone. They actually have the lead on FlyQuest with the extra turret as well as the extra dragons. And that more than makes up for the gold for me, actually.
Yeah.
Having this Infernal in your pocket as well as the Ocean. Look at this. So much safety here with Thresh and Graves. No summoners necessary. Z over. The ultimate was going to come after for a little bit of extra burst, but got it with the smite there as the early damage from FlyQuest went through. And then this is just, you know, High not paying attention to the commitment here from Immortals, and he gets caught out.
It's nicely done. So that opens up quite a bit of a window here for Immortals. Moon gets spotted. Altec has to give a bit of respect and actually flashes
Pobelter got something with
Yep.
the clone for once.
Yep, the Pobelter clone forcing a flash. Altec very afraid of getting bopped by that.
All right, so this has been so much more back and forth than we thought it was going to be, considering the early lead and the potential for snowballs. But it really just has been about which team is actually more grouped, right?
And it's
The four-man squads have been the ones coming away with the advantages.
absolutely. And what's nice is outside of the bot lane kills really game, none of these feel like unforced errors where it's like, oh, that was just really, really stupid. Why would you go for that play? It's like, hey, that's a reasonable dive, but it was played better by FlyQuest. And most of the mid-game plays I feel like have been high quality, which is nice to see, because we've seen plenty of games where it's like, oh, there's a lot of kills. Yeah, that was all pretty bad, but you know, Immortals actually executing well as FlyQuest continue to do the same as they've always done the whole season long is nice to see that the quality of play seems higher. Another opening, look at Cody's Moon getting absolutely destroyed from across the map, and the final shot comes through. Altec is dominating 6-0-4.
Again, FlyQuest group up, take them down with the long range snares, and the Shen ultimate on top of Evelyn, so good for flanking. Able to get right in there. Now they're going to push it and chase Dardoch out of his own jungle.
Pobelter gets the root off, but yeah, that is Immortal shoved away from that side of the map, and looks like the call is toward Baron. I don't know if it's going to be on it itself, but at least they're getting vision. Now, Dardoch stole the last objective. This is a risky play.
Going for the
trap.
higher percentage pick here, hoping that someone will come check. Ping did go down. That's Immortals expecting the bait rather than the Baron start. Kind of calling their bluff at the moment. Take a look at it though. Even with Lantern, Moon coming in with that flank. Ultimate here from Altec does find both.
731 in the last shot. That'll do a lot to your support Thresh. Doesn't have any major items yet. And that's the kind of game plan it feels like FlyQuest is looking for. Let's spread it out a lot. Let's find the Jhin ulti into the Evelyn flank, and it's a lot of damage.
Yeah, definitely look good there. On the Immortals side, for them, you can definitely say that they did have more coordinated plays than we expected coming into it, right?
Yeah.
You talk about where's the bar set, and it was kind of low for this team, considering the last couple times we saw them. But they have had some good signs of life to get back into this game. They're gonna need some more though, and they do have Maokai to really rely upon. He is gonna outscale Shen for sure in the team fighting. He will be the more secure front line. The problem is, it's just hard getting them there and setting up those battle lines, because FlyQuest can really easily pull you across the map and then jump on a different area.
Absolutely. We'll see if they can have it here. Again, the fight on Cody's Sun just now a magnet for current call at this point. A second shutdown in a row, led by the jungler and bot laner of FlyQuest. Hook's not going to land. This inhibitor turret is going to drop down. That is into the base they go. FlyQuest 27 minutes in. Gonna look to finish the inhibitor kill as long as their health bars can withstand it. Balls actually has to TP to catch a wave. The call is to bait it in, actually. They were trying to get him, and the bamboozle happens. Dardoch drops low into the front line is Flame, and he's actually gonna be a turret kill coming through thanks to Pobelter on the top side. That defense went okay 3v5, but the inhibitor still does go down.
Yeah, inhibitor down. They did get the extra turret here with Pobelter, but not able to capitalize on that kill, that bait from FlyQuest there.
Yeah.
To try and get the extra kill here. Let's take a look at how it started though. Because once again, visible Evelyn right next to the Ashe. Cody's Sun on the front lines here.
Yeah.
Too far away from the turrets.
And of course, with Cody getting slowed, Ole just stands still if he wants to block any more ult shots. And, ouch, that is rough though. You can call that Cody's Sun stepping up too far. Maybe he is to not respect the team properly. But now, of course, the comeback attempt is a Baron Nashor attack. Moon is nearby. Ball's right in front of it as well. And looks like too risky for Immortals.
It is very risky, but what they want to do is just get a 5-on-5 where they have Maokai in the front and they want to set up beforehand. Right now, they've actually taken a decent amount of damage from doing it, and FlyQuest are trying to chase them down.
He can't quite kill off Dardoch, and Pobolter would turn him around too easily, so Moon can't go for that play.
A lot of burst.
Yeah, Pobolter would do too much damage to him, even though it is a somewhat squishy build from Dardoch.
Also, Moon's still sitting on 10 stacks here on his rings because he hasn't died.
The damage to the Pobolter. Oh, okay, Moon showed up though as well, and that is a double assist. Balls pop the ulti to keep him alive, and just that is the amount of damage you can do with a 10-stack Dark Seal and a lot of ability power on Evelynn.
Seems like they are playing right into Shen's strength of covering up picks. You know, and continually going for that. It's so odd when you have moments where you feel like a team is surprised by a Shen ultimate in pro play. And I guess the added factor is that teams are not used to playing against Evelynn. So not only is it the Shen Stand United, which, to be fair, sometimes you go super aggressive to bait that out and get the cooldown down, knowing that you can escape afterwards back to the W. But Moon added factor of invisibility being there makes those plays even more high risk.
Exactly. That play was, to echo your sentiment, fine against Shen. That was going to be Balls missing an ulti and his teleports on cooldown. But you're right. Suddenly, all right, well, I got him to half and I burned Shen ulti. It was a close fight. Oh, Moon's here. Goodbye. I'm already dead. 240 ability power on Evelynn is kind of a lot to work through. And now Leandri's done makes it even happier. And you can even do decent damage to tanks as a result.
I absolutely love the new Leandris after they reduce the cost. It's just good in all scenarios. The flat penetration it provides, you do a lot of damage to squishies as well when he's going for flanks.
Like this?
Just like this.
Well, it could.
Stand United is not available, though, so it's just going to be him. He has to be a little bit more careful about the damage coming his way, but they are setting up for it. The 3 members are pushing up, so I don't think they want an all-in fight.
Couple of flashes used, exhausted the balls, Hook's gonna land as well. This could be the opening, pulls in, Dardoch plays him against the wall, can Balls jump away? Looks like it's not just yet, Dardoch and Moon, who misses the ulti from Dardoch actually.
Dodges.
And out the rest of them go.
They delay so long, and they both get out alive with only one of the flashes blown. They bought so much time for this split of the 3-man DPS here from FlyQuest.
That's actually 3 turrets picked up in a row. That was top outer tier 2 and inhibitor turret all picked up in the same push.
Yeah, it's actually insane. They were only going for the delay there, only committing those 2 frontline members. And man, I thought that at least one of them would go down for it. And it still would be pretty worth, but right now, the rest of the squad getting collapsed on. They do have Stand United, but Moon can't get there.
Okay, well, Flame's coming out for this one, knowing that maybe one is going to be missing out. Flame, what's he going to find? The shield and elimination. That is the fake LeBlanc. No root yet on a Maokai. Ironic a little bit, but out he goes. Takes the lantern, goes back to safety. Dardoch should be okay as well. A quick slow from Pobolter, and Immortals will disengage. That is at least Stand United forced out.
Yeah, it was a pretty early Stand United. But they are going to dissuade Immortals from chasing this one down. With the inhibitor down, a lot of minions will be streaming into the mid lane, and FlyQuest will use this to get complete control of the vision around Baron, so that they can set up for more of the picks that they need to try and gain that advantage.
Let's see how much more they can get then. 5,000 though the lead for FlyQuest. They have, after about 25 minutes in the game, really just dictated who can do what in this game. Moon always in the right place to say, oh, you went for that pick, that's cute, I'm going to one-shot you in the backside of it. And Ball's low enough cooldown on his ultimate to be part of these fights.
Yeah. My only criticism of Moon so far, didn't upgrade to the Medjais, could have had a couple stacks extra on there.
How dare you not play more risky in this game when you're ahead? We need the comeback mechanism to be more real in this one.
Yeah. Definitely well played from them. Took the side here so far, though. And the surprise factor of the Evelynn has been such a big part of how they got this lead. If we remember back to the beginning of the game, big snowball started off that bottom lane, walking right into lane, aggressive moves from Immortals, and was able to capitalize with the quick 2 kills that got him to this point.
There we go, Dardoch smited, slowed, a couple more shots, arrow blocked off, that was sick, High jumped in with the Valkyrie so that he could take over the stun, and Alta gets the shutdown. That was great. High deserves an assist for that.
I think we'll have to see the replay, but not to take away from any of that. I think Altek channeled his Edge of Night first and had a spell shield on.
But whatever.
He might not have, and it could have been a hero taking this bullet for you.
Take it all back, High. You're overrated. You always were.
We'll wait to see the replay, though. But I think he did channel the Edge of Night. It was for a second.
All right, well, on to the inhibit to go. It's going to be a double inhib take easily enough, and the waves pushed in the 7,000 gold lead. FlyQuest in complete control. No Dardoch for 13 seconds means they're looking at Baron.
All right, let's take a look here. It is channeling right now, Freak. But it's one of those moves where like, Ah, we don't even need this. I don't even need that ability. I'll take the arrow.
It made sure that the explosion didn't break the Banshee's veil.
It's the thought that counts.
It's the thought that counts.
You're testing this Baron. Let's go.
It's important. Here we go. Hotshot is on redemption. Okay, goes through the red team. Gets picked up there by FlyQuest. Feels good so far. Ball's to the front line. Rooted up. They find High. Good target is Corky. Exhaust on a flame. Not your ideal one to push down. And Cody Sun forced in the back line, hitting out against Balls. Back and forth they go. Frontliners still taking up for a very long time. And Flame finally, no, still just refuses to die. A kill into Cody Sun, one more as well from Karma. Powalter can't get him in the back line.
Oh,
3-0 so far. Balls does get shut out. A lot of damage out of Dardock. Tries to make it happen. A triple kill. The AoE is there. Elimination versus Ole. 1v1. Ole against his mirror. Elimination wins. Ace for FlyQuest. Into the base they go, and Moon takes it in.
The solo Nexus turret destruction here from Moon. He moves. Left side,
here
to
we
the right
go.
side. Auto.
One turret's
He's
gone.
in. He's done the second one.
They're still doing damage. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to win or not. It's so close. There's no way to know if it's going to be the game. I'm just kidding. FlyQuest wins. Congratulations, FlyQuest 1-0. A well-deserved win, I will say. Still executing beautifully as a team. Game 1, good head nod by High. Says, yeah, that felt good. We deserved it.
Too true. Too true. Even with, you know, showing the Shen, showing the Evelynn, the Jhin pick, I mean, they set themselves up for bottom lane focus so well in Champ Select, and then it all came to fruition with the aggressive Moon from the Immortals bottom lane. Moon gets down there just in the nick of time, and from then on, it was actually some good counterplays from Immortals, like the bottom side play where FlyQuest actually didn't commit for once, and there are some windows where they were making a little bit of headway back into it. But once FlyQuest, you know, reoriented themselves and they kept focusing mid, 5 members, you go for the Evelynn flank. Cody Sun almost every single time they were able to find him.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate thing, right? Is every time I'm like, ooh, I want to give Cody Sun some props and Ole some props for playing a little bit better than expectations. They have games like this where it's 0-5-3, 0-5-5, 0-6-3, right? You have a bot lane that combines to a 0-11-8. And like we've all had those games where it's like, oh, bot
No, you have.
yeah, like bot lane 0-11, bot lane 0-11, I guess we lose the game. And it's like, you know, there is fault with how Immortals played it, right? There is fault with how Cody Sun stepped up and said, look, I know you don't play against Eve normally, but this is not safe for you. You actually can't be this. You can't fight for minion wave under your turret because Evelynn can flank you and you'll instantly die. And that's just kind of the things that happened there is the pressure was on, and FlyQuest were able to get those pickoffs really well.
Yeah, and actually for the people just tuning in now or didn't see the beginning of the game, we have a replay of the first 2 kills from Moon that we're talking about and that were such a big part. So initially I'm like, oh, that's a defensive lantern. They want to get him out of there. But then Ole sees the opportunity to go for the flash onto Altec and get him.
Yeah.
And they almost actually kill him. As you made the point, that potion barely saves him. But then having used both flashes offensively, Moon is actually there. It's one of those things where you talk about Evelynn and her presence and being invisible. How much do you want to play around that, right? This is similar for so many games, right? Card games or anything.
You know,
how much
what are
do
the
you
outs
play
here?
around? You know what? This guy's got a full board clear. I'm not gonna fill the board.
Sure.
How long can you do that until you just lose by grinding it out, right?
30% chance Reno's in your hand. Guess I lose the game. I went for the all-in there, right? What's the chance that Moon's outside? Well, we know he's not on Krugs. We know he forced a recall. But, you know, Raptors the first camp back up.
Yeah.
The first camp up is Raptors. Moon probably should go Raptors. If he's playing for the farm, actually he's lane ganking bot lane.
Considering how much their draft points to the bottom lane and how much, like you said, you can eliminate Krugs and you can eliminate pretty much their entire
Both the buffs,
their
yeah.
red quadrant, the entire quadrant of the jungle. Given that information, you definitely want to err on the side of caution, but they did get close. Close doesn't count, though, and FlyQuest does definitely deserve that win. Game number 1 of the series, though, so Immortals have a chance to come back.
Yeah, and again, like the reason to go for the all-in was FlyQuest turned around inside a full minion wave. Like this was finally a wave where Immortals were actually able to shove it in first, and it's just 6 living blue minions. Like every all-in under that minion wave is supposed to be a good all-in.
To be fair, if a team does that to you, you're supposed to expect that.
Yeah,
Evelynn
that's
is
true.
there. That's supposed to be a ding ding.
You're right about that one. That is a bit of a tell. So maybe unlucky, maybe they should have known better. But either way, though, it was FlyQuest playing a very good game, and it was a fun one to watch for. So game 1 did go to them, but when we come back, we'll see if Immortals can bounce back and take game 2 against FlyQuest, or if it's a clean sweep. Don't go anywhere. We watch the North American LCS.
Every time you get a kill, you have to howl like a wolf. Like really loud.
Let me hear your howl, Lemon. Start from left to right. That's bad.
Play seems higher. Another opening. Look at Cody getting absolutely destroyed from across the map, and the final shot comes through.
You want to go on this? I'm ready.
Wait, I'm gonna get behind. Oh, I need flank. Better flank.
Yeah, I'm ready.
We can
Let's go.
channel on me.
Let's go.
We can go.
Multi.
Go.
Graves?
National flag.
Down.
Thresh, anyone?
I got him coming. Yeah, he's dead. Take turret. Turret.